Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And in this video, I'm going to talk about many aspects of the market because there is honestly quite a lot going on. First, the Daily Hodl. They published this article in the last 24 hours. It talks about an attorney who makes a prediction that Ripple will settle with the SEC. And this prediction comes from the belief that Ripple's quick answer back to the SEC on the complaint indicates that Ripple wants the legal battle to end swiftly. Let me point out that this same attorney, Stephen Polly, he said prior to this, back in 2019, that he was surprised that there was no action taken against Ethereum. Have a listen.
Sometimes what's interesting is trying to figure out how litigation and regulatory enforcement will impact something that maybe is centralized in certain ways but decentralized in other ways. I suppose I've also been a little bit surprised to not see some sort of public enforcement related to Ethereum.
Okay, and then we have this, which is more recent. This is in October, about 4 months ago. Pally was interviewed regarding the BitMEX charges, and his fellow partner at the firm that he is at, the Anderson Kill firm, the partner in the back there in this video, Preston Byrne, he actually turned down 13,000 Ethereum because of his concerns that it was a security. So I want you to listen to this, just about 40 seconds.
The reason that we're both simple country lawyers, is that that's not the way we roll. So.
I stupidly, inverted commas, I don't regret doing it. I turned down 13,000 Ether because from the pre-mine allocation, because I was like around the community in London when it happened, because I was concerned about the securities implications. Those concerns turned out to be correct. It's just that the SEC declined to enforce against them. So we take a very cautious approach, a very long-term approach, sometimes 4 or 5 years ahead of time.
So he said that he was concerned about Ethereum being a security, and that was a correct concern, he felt, and that the SEC just declined to enforce it. I find that really interesting. Now, the person who may be best to listen to, and this just was something that was captured in the last 24 hours, is the former OCC Comptroller of the currency, Brian Brooks. And thanks to James Rule XRP, I can share this clip with you. This one, I think, is most interesting in terms of predictions.
Brian, speaking of Ripple, you worked at Coinbase, you worked in the government, albeit for under a year. So tell us, is XRP a security, yes or no?
Well, these are complicated questions and matters of pending litigation, so who can say? But here's what I would tell you, though, which I think is the most important issue about XRP, and that is there is a difference, okay? There's a difference between the way in which an asset is distributed and the nature of the asset at a given moment in time. And I think the issue in Ripple that gets lost in all of the discussion is whatever happened in the original distribution of XRP tokens, 10 years ago, and whether that was or wasn't an unregistered securities offering, that's what the courts will decide. That's a different question from whether XRP today is a security. And the SEC itself has said that assets can change their nature over time as they achieve utility and as they achieve decentralization. So if I had to make a prediction, I'll just make a quick prediction, and that is that there is a settlement to be done here somewhere, and the settlement has to do with the distribution of the tokens so that existing token holders can continue to trade them and find value in them the way that they do. Obviously.
So that's, I think it's 10 years ago versus today, and that the assets can change over time. And he sees that there is a settlement to be done. So his prediction is a settlement. Now, you really need to hand it to Hester Peirce, because today she tweeted out that she was thankful to be mentioned as a part of the Crypto Top 100. And she looked forward to the day when the top didn't include regulators. You gotta love her. So let's go get into what I really want to talk about today. This is what I found most interesting. We're in a hot market, a red hot market, and everybody is asking themselves, is it time to buy or is it time to sell? And I really admire the blockchain backer because he's sticking to his plan. And as you'll see in this video, he has been in it for a while, and over again, he has watched the market play out in these cycles. And he knows that if you are new to the space or you've been here a while, it's so easy to get hit by FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. And then you combine greed with that, and you can really miss out on your targets. He is sticking to his plan. He set a target for Bitcoin a long time ago, and Bitcoin is now approaching that target. And have a listen to what he says he's going to do.
Expectations are that Bitcoin's going to kind of make its way up in here. I'm not sure how high it's going to go, followed by a big fall down, and then a 702 retracement over here, followed by one more big pull down, and then off we go. And it keeps going up and up and up. And my expectations, like you all know, $70,000 to $80,000 is where I'm looking for. So I'm not saying this is the top of Bitcoin. It's the end of Bitcoin. But what I'm saying is I have been looking for this move, and I find it very, very amazing for this type of news to happen as we finally get to my first sell zone of Bitcoin. You guys know it who have been here for a long time. I haven't sold any Bitcoin. I've been very vocal about it. I haven't sold any Bitcoin. It's been scary for me to come onto my channel and be like, I've been kind of dreading this day, the day where it finally happens, where I say, all right, I've sold it. Because what happens if the price keeps going up higher and higher, right? The world's going to look at me and say, wow, you got that wrong, buddy. So it's a stressful moment for me for sure, but it's a plan that I've had in place and a plan that I'm going to follow. And it's incredible that we have the news that we do as we finally get to my zone.
Finally got to his zone. So it looks like he's going to take a little profit. It's one of the hardest things to do in this space. I find his candid honesty so refreshing. I think he has a lot of wisdom to share in this video. And I'm not saying what's right for blockchain backer is necessarily right for you, but do know that when you listen to people who've been in this space for a while, and he really is a price watcher, you have to stand up and listen. So red hot. Yeah, wow, we are so red hot. It's just incredible because you think that these gains are just so easy, especially if you're new, right? You can jump into any project and it'll turn to gold, but really that is the farthest thing from the truth. We have this significant help in pricing right now, which is likely coming from Elon Musk. He announced that he's going to purchase, or he did purchase 1.5 billion of Bitcoin to work for his company's treasury. And I think that's awesome. And no doubt many people pointed out that the energy consumption differences between XRP and Bitcoin are something that he should really be concerned with. Here you have this comparison where you can see the kilowatts per transaction. It's just not XRP, but compared to Visa, Ethereum, it's huge. It's huge. So I was a little surprised when I saw the next story, and pleasantly surprised, I would say. There is an announcement that he put out about 12 hours ago that there is an X Prize team which is going to manage $100 million carbon capture prize. What exactly is this? This is a competition that $100 million US dollars that's being donated by Elon is going to be awarded to someone who can find a new way to remove carbon from air and water. It's the largest prize so far in history, and it's going to kick off on Earth Day and run through 2025. Winning entries will need to show an ability of how their idea will scale. I think, yeah, you can Be critical if you want, but I think that following up with this move is very, very good. We're going to see the actual details in all of the competition rules very shortly. So once this euphoria calms down, fundamentals will and do matter. That's why you see so many holders of XRP are so sure about their long-term investment, because the digital asset has real utility and it's solving multiple problems out there. It didn't chase a problem that was convenient for it to exist. No, it actually is solving a problem. One of them being, of course, as a bridge currency with the remittances, but it also has found other solutions since then. So I am really understanding the importance of utility. Ethereum transaction fees, on the other hand, have hit record highs, passing $20 for the first time on the average just this last February 4th. So when you do your research and you're looking for projects to invest in and that have the staying power, if you're new to this space, you need to understand this fact that utility does matter. So you can go to Etherscan, and there are 359,948 token contracts found as an ERC20 token. And there's so many projects. 857 projects are using this coin. Chainlink, Uniswap, Theta, Celsius, Sushi, OMG. These projects and the fees are really killing small investors, traders, and the projects that are large enough. They can sometimes absorb these fees, but many of the projects have to pass these fees on to the user, and that's not good. So to complete a Uniswap, for example, a simple swap, just a simple swap, the trade on January 19th was $60 to $100. And if you've got a complex contract, you're looking at anywhere from $100 to $200. And Cointelegraph published an article last week. The fees for the more complex DeFi protocols has increased at times over $1,000. So zero logical sense to use Ethereum or build on Ethereum with fees like this in the current situation that the developers have now. It has a roadmap to change, but that change is still a long way out, at least a year, and that is still kind of a roll of the dice. Now, I know Vitalik is really super smart, and he has probably the means financially and also to attract the high talent to get an improvement made. But in the meantime, there is a lot at stake. So this is why Gala Games, who is going to join me in less than 12 hours, has decided to make an integration onto the Flare networks. This is a decision you just can't underestimate. You just can't. Because should they be able to have the success that they will undoubtedly have, I think it will give you the potential of the dynamic growth that can occur with Flare networks. So building on Ethereum is one thing. That's one thing. But a digital asset that's used as a futures project, well, that is another. And on Sunday, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange started trading Ethereum futures. They had 388 contracts. That was 19,400 Ethereum, or 33 million. And each contract represents cash settled Ethereum, 50 to be exact in that contract. So like BTC, it's a way for those who are looking for a little exposure to this space. And yes, I'm trying to be really balanced here, that projects do survive on just store of value alone. I mean, we have that perfect example with the leader in the space at the present time, which is Bitcoin. And it is really moving on its store of value. So could Ethereum become valuable in its store of value? Well, I mean, anything is possible in this space, but I just still go back to when you're looking for other projects to invest in, you really need to look at the utility. And I don't think every project in this space can survive being just a store of value. So, something to look forward to. I just want to tell you that Dustin Plantholt, he DM'd me and let me know that his podcast with the KISS rock legend Gene Simmons, who jumped into crypto 3 months ago. That podcast will be uploaded to listen to on Thursday. I'm kind of looking forward to it. He is someone who just recently got into crypto with the purchase of BTC, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, XRP, and others. I don't know if he goes through the entire list, but he does weigh in a little bit on his thinking on the Ripple lawsuit. So I'm just kind of curious. We're going to see probably a lot of celebrities jumping in the space now, which is either good or bad. But for the most part, if it brings adoption, I'm all for it. I can take that celebrity hype for a while. All right, everybody, we're jumping to a little fluff. We are going to talk about some construction that was studied, and it's been approved for more study on whether or not a mountain railway concept to reduce vehicles going to the 5th station of Mount Fuji can be reduced. And that would be bringing a train to replace all of the current mode of transportation. So move everyone over to light rail. It's much better for the environment. I'm really happy that they're going to do that because, yeah, the traffic driving up and down off the mountain is just horrible. So if we see a train that takes us to that 5th station, that's going to be a really great improvement. Now, what you see here is, this is a photograph that was posted on Twitter. It was taken 7 days ago, and it's a rare, but it's a phenomenon that does happen. It's called a lenticular cloud, and this was one of those clouds that appeared on top of the mountain about a week ago. So the studies say that they estimate 3 million people will use the light rail to go up the mountain. I actually personally think it's going to be much higher than that. All right, I'm going to just show you one fun thing, and that is the Shake Shack here. And if you're not familiar with this hamburger chain, it is got these yummy hamburgers, and we have a few locations here in Japan, but you won't be able to get their selection of cherry blossom shakes unless you're in Japan. This is, again, another company that just goes all into, providing the celebration of the cherry blossom season. And so these shakes I can't wait to try one. This is going to be something that's available only until April 15th. All right, everybody. Yes, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.